just to give you the current situation, I am about to land sa Hague. Galing ako Dubai. Stopover for it's a long haul, it's a long flight. Okay ako. Doon na Torre. And I think this is something to do with the law and order noon. At sinasabi ko naman sa mga pulis at military na trabaho kayo at ako ang managot. So ito na nga, for all of the whatever happened in the past, ako na yung nag-front sa ating law enforcement at military. Sinabi ko na I will protect you and I will, ako ang managot sa lahat. This will be a long legal proceedings. But I say to you, I will continue to serve my country at so be it. Kung ganun ang destiny ko. Salamat.
Former Philippine leader Rodrigo Duterte has been taken into custody by the International Criminal Court following his arrest in Manila on murder charges linked to his war on drugs. That's according to a statement from the court, or ICC, on Wednesday. The 79-year-old arrived at Rotterdam Airport on a chartered plane and was transferred to a detention unit on the Dutch coast. He will be brought before an ICC judge in The Hague in the coming days for an initial appearance, the statement said. The court's warrant for his arrest alleges that, as president, Duterte created, funded, and armed death squads that carried out murders of purported drug users and dealers. Duterte's war on drugs was a signature of his presidency, which lasted from 2016 to 2022. The anti-drugs crackdown killed thousands and drew condemnation from around the world. He could become the first Asian former head of state to go on trial at the ICC. Supporters and protesters gathered outside the court.
Want him to be jailed? We want him to suffer, but he actually is lucky because he is experiencing the due process of law compared to the victims that they were just being shot and killed without any due process.
They handed our president to foreigners.
It's so shame.
It's a shame. What they did was shameful. They brought shame to our country.
In Manila, the remains of more than a dozen victims of extrajudicial killings were laid to rest Wednesday, part of a non-governmental organization's program aimed at helping impoverished victims find a resting place for their slain relatives. The 44-year-old son of Josephine Camendo, who was killed in 2016, was among the remains interred. The justice that we want for those who have died is slowly moving forward, she said.
The office has been investigating the situation of the Philippines for some time in relation to the so-called war on drugs. Last month, under the supervision of Deputy Prosecutor Manjay Niang, the team submitted a warrant application to the judges of the pretrial chamber. The judges have issued that warrant and it's been executed. And in issuing the warrant, the judges have found reasonable grounds to believe that Mr. Duterte has committed the crime of murder as the founder, as the head of the so-called Davao death squad, as the mayor of Davao City, and then later as the president of the Philippines between 2011 and 2019.
Yesterday was a triumph of good against evil, and today we bury part of that evil that happened to these families, and we celebrate the good.
Para po sa akin, labis po akong natutuwa. Dahil unti-unti na pong umuusad yung inaasam namin na katarungan at hustisya para sa aming mga namatayan.
Gusto ko lang na maiparating sa kanya na aminin niya na lang lahat ang mga ginawa niya sa mga pagpapatay, sa pag-utos niya, kung inutusan man niya. Dahil siya naman talaga ang nag-utos na patayin lahat yung mga, kahit hindi adik o droga, nagtitinda ng mga droga.
This is the first case, I think, that is going to deal with a situation that is not from sort of war or election-related violence. This is basically about extrajudicial killings within the so-called drug war. So it's basically about a president ordering its forces to sort of clean up the streets from alleged narco-traffickers, which led to thousands of civilian deaths. So I think it's also in that sense special, and of course is the first case that relates to Asia that is leading to a trial. So in many ways it's really a first. I assume there's going to be legal challenges about him being transferred because of course the Philippines left the ICC, I think in 2019. So I can imagine that's going to be the first sort of the first hurdle, but then it's going to be months and months of pre-trial, sort of processes. So I don't imagine that we're going to see a trial actually start before probably something like next year.
Actually, our clients, the victim survivors, they're very thankful to God because they say this is really an answered prayer. They did not really expect that justice can still be served to a powerful man such as Rodrigo Duterte. So they're very thankful.